Let's check it out. Adam Eaton and the Phillies. Top of the first, Mets already up 1-0. Damian Easley, nice clutch, 2-out single to right. MD Chavez scores. Mets up 2-0 for Pedro Martinez. Now 3-0. Now even more. David Wright in the corner. Jose Reyes and Chavez will score. And the Mets have a 5-0 lead for Pedro Martinez. It would grow to 8-0. Bottom four. Chase Utley in the house. No, Chase Utley out of the house. Number 25, you'll see Chase Utley on ESPN in the Home Run Derby at Yankee Stadium next Monday. Phillies still down, though, 8-1. Say hello to R.J. Swindle. That ball was 55 miles an hour, and David Wright hits it out. 17th of the year. Mets now up 9-1. Should be easy. Bottom six, 10-1. The slow, long comeback begins. Off Pedro, Pat Burrell's 22nd of the year, but still 10-2. Bottom seven, Ryan Howard. Off Tony Armas. And what's up? Is it over the fence or not? Dan Iasonia, who's clearly employing the Ed Hockley bicep-tricep workout. He rules fan interference. Charlie Manuel is only he can do. I don't like the call. Blue discusses. Now they say, you know what? We think this ball would have traveled over the fence. And you know what? I agree with him. I think it would have carried over. But with the fans leaning over, it's hard to tell. That's a home run for Howard, number 24. Jerry Manuel doesn't like it. He's going to get run by the guns of Iasonia. To the ninth, Billy Wagner. Billy Wagner's been not only blowing saves recently, but multi-run saves. It's 10-7. Ryan Howard better with runners on base this year, but he still strikes out. Two batters later, Pedro Feliz. Up the middle it goes. 0-2 pitch, 2 outs, down by 3. Carlos Beltran's playing a no-double deep defense, but for some reason he throws to third, and David Wright tries to make a Olay catch-and-tag play. And it all goes terribly wrong. Bruntlett scored. It's now 10-9. Jason Worth had a 2-run homer off Wagner on Sunday, but not in this one. The Mets, as only the Mets do, win another adventurous game. 10-9 is the final. There it is. And the Mets are slowly coming. They're over 500, 45 and 44 now. Pedro gets the win, also drove in a run. John Kruk, here come the Mets.
It's Milwaukee before Monday night's game against the Rockies. He's expected to get the start Tuesday and Sunday, jamming 2 starts prior to the old All-Star break. Ubaldo Jimenez pitching. Bottom of the sixth facing Ryan Braun and gets him. Jimenez, 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 7 strikeouts, got his first road win of the season. Matt Holliday, he's hot. 14th of the season, 4th home run his last 4 games. Bottom 8, 1 on for Craig Counsell facing Taylor Buchholz. Counsell, the infield fly. Who wants it? Who wants it? Who wants it? Well, nobody wants it. Nobody calls it. Ball drops fair. Gabe Kapler stays on second, and the Rocky players all seem to be confused, and Sabathia think, hey, I love this league. This is great fun. 2 batters later, base loaded for Ryan Braun. Off the mound. Clint Barmas scoops it up and turns 2. Gabe Kapler scored from third as a 4-1 game. Prince Fielder, where you been? If it's fair, it's gone. That'll see the foul pole. 17th homer for Prince. First home run since June 22nd. Later, 1 on, 2 outs for Russell Branyan. 4-3 game. And Manny Corpus gets Branyan to pop out to center. Jimenez and the Rocks able to hang on and win 4-3 in front of their new star pitcher, CC Sabathia. Brew Crew fall a half game behind the NL Central rival Cards. And Red Sox before a big-time pitching duel at the Feds. Big-time BP. David Ortiz had a few long drives with that left wrist. He said it's a little sore on the outside pitches. Daisuke Matsuzaka had himself a ball game. Got Brian Boucher in the second, Delman Young in the fourth, Matsuzaka 7 in the third. 6 hits, 5 strikeouts, big fat ND, no decision. Bottom fourth, Coco Crisp, bases loaded, 1 out, and that's not going to get anybody home. And the next batter, Jason Varitek, same deal. Scott Baker matching zeros with Daisuke. Twins out of the jam, still scoreless. Let's go to the 8th. Hideki Okajima on the pitch. In the 8th inning, just like last year. Except they didn't have a lead. It was still tied and scoreless. And he gets Delman Young to ground out Dustin Pedroia. Okajima out of his own jam. Pedroia leading off the bottom of the 8th. This is close to a home run, but it's definitely a 15-game inning streak. Can't get the guy out. Later in the inning, Manny Ramirez at the plate. David Ortiz tells him, you look for a good pitch. Now, with the infield in, you know, a 200 hitter becomes a 300 hitter. That's an RBI signal. Pedroia scores. Red Sox a 1-0 lead. Ortiz is fired up. Jonathan Papelbon on to close it out in the 9th inning.
Oh.
And what a play by Kevin Youkilis and the toss. Red Sox win the old-fashioned pitchers duel 1-zip.
You know, since Barry Melrose was announced as the Lightning head coach in Ware, Tampa, the Rays are 11-1. Melrose might win Coach of the Year in baseball and hockey. Carl Crawford, he steals his 300th career base, and the throw gets away, and Akinori Iwamura scores. Only the 9th player since 1900 to do so before turning 27. That's quite a fact bar. Top of 7th, Joey Gathright bunts. He doesn't run it out. Dion Navarro notices that, so he'll get the forced out at second, and he knows since Gathwright's standing next to him, he can't get to first. Gathright was not pulled from the game despite that blunder. Rays down 3-2, more Melrose magic. Carlos Pena at the dish. He ties the game. We go to extra innings. Top of the 10th. Ross Glode. Of course you could potentially walk Ross Glode. Next batter, John Buck. Goodbye. 3-run Jackson. Gone. 4th of the year. Royals lead 6-3. Next batter, Mike Aviles. That's another blast. Ray's vision wasn't kind to Tampa on this one. KC wins in 10, 7-4. You're good on the road this year. Vladimir Guerrero, career homer, 380. There it is. One behind Albert Bell's career total of 381. Angels up big, much like the Mets were, as we saw earlier in the show, 7-0. Chris Davis, the youngster, 2-run shot to right. It's now 8-6. Angels. By the way, Ian Kinsler extends his hit streak to 19 in this game. Torrey Hunter. Second home run of the game, and the Angels back up by 3, 9-6. Crazy play in the top of the 8th. Meiser is Torres at bat, 2 on, 1 out. Grounds to first to Davis, who we saw hit the home run. He comes home to Max Ramirez. Look out! Jeff Mathis, fellow catcher, knocks him over. Ramirez out of it for a second, then realizes, whoa, there's guys on base. And I bet they're running the third. He gets Casey Kochman. Here it is again. Bam! Stunned, but again, he realizes time is not out. I got to play baseball, and he throws out Kochman. Nice tag, Vasquez. Bottom 9, David Murphy, 2 on, 2 out. Rodriguez trying to save it for Santana. He does. 35th save. Santana now 7-1 on the road. Last year, he was 1-10 on the road.
They've dropped 8 straight at home as they welcome the Mariners to town. Mariners had a 3-0 lead, 2 out, first and second at the top of the second. Raul Ibanez singles to center. Willie Bloomquist trying to score. Carlos Gonzalez, watch this throw to the plate. Perfect right on. A nice swipe tag as well. Bottom of the 5th, he's down 3-1. Here's Wes Bankston. And Bankston, get out of town, and he means it. His first Major League home run. Congratulations, kid, and tied the game at 3. 2 down. Now, Ryan Sweeney is going to single to left. That'll score a run, give the A's a 4-3 lead. And that would be the score as we go to the top of the 9th. 4-3, 2 on, 2 out. Adrian Beltre, guy's 4 for 4. But is not 5 for 5. Houston Street gets Beltre to fly out, and the A's hang on the win.
A win for Joe Torre's Dodgers, and they pull into a first-place identical record tie with Idaho, Arizona in the NL West. But the story was Hiroki Kuroda, the Dodger starting pitcher. Perfect through 4 innings.
That's what did it. Only his
Looking for some offensive help now. Bottom 5, 4th game off the DL. Nomar Garciaparra, still baseball's best head of hair, and the old-time power. Dodgers up 2-0. Bottom of the 5th. To the 7th now. Kuroda, he's still perfect. What does Gregor Blanco do? He tries to lay it down. And look at the play by Blake DeWitt. Holy shnikes, look at it again. And Kuroda, still perfect. 2 batters later. Toughest out in baseball this year. Chipper Jones. 6 outs away from a perfect game. The Braves, a good candidate. Shut out 7 times this year coming into this game. And losers of 6 of 8 to the 8th. Teixeira, Mark leads off. Kuroda gets it up. And Teixeira breaks up the perfect game and the no-hitter in one swoop. Last Dodger no-hitter, Nomo back in '96. To the 9th, Kuroda still with a 1-hit shutout. Greg Norton to the hole on Alberoa. Look at that play. He beats Norton. Next batter, Blanco, the dude who tried to bunt his way on. This time he slashes. Bro, that's routine. And the Dodgers have won 6 of 7. They tie. Marlins go from the best hitters park in Denver to the best pitchers park in San Diego. With the Phillies losing, the Marlins can pull to within a game and a half of the Phils in the NL East. Whether it's a mile high or sea level, the Marlins hit home runs. Jorge Cantu off Greg Maddux, who's 0-3, as you saw in his last 10 starts. Marlins up 2-0. Hanley Ramirez down the line. It's called fair as Alfredo Amezaga comes around to score, but take another look. Look out, Blue. Not in the best position to see this ball. Looks like it is foul. Umpires get together. Joe West, the crew chief, feels like, you know, that's a foul ball. Let's do this over again. Freddie Gonzalez, Marlins skipper, says, wait, just give me an explanation. Why did you overturn that? And Joe West says, don't talk to me. And he throws him out. We know you can't argue balls and strikes. I guess you can't do fair or foul in Joe West world. Ramirez still up. Next pitch, grounds out the third, and the Marlins don't score. Doesn't matter. Bottom 9, Kevin Gregg into close, and he does. And the Marlins get closer to the Phillies in the NL East. They beat San Diego.
For Monday, you know, Anderson never lets me do number 10, and since he's not here,
on the show,
30th edition of the International Birdman Contest, hosted by SportsCenter's John Anderson. Plenty of homemade flying machines ended up in the water, but defending champ Ron Freeman was able to defend his title in the
perfect game preserved for the moment, but he would lose it in the 8th.
This is Anderson's show. 24 thrill seekers will compete in the world's largest extreme obstacle course designed to provide the most spills, face plants, and wipeouts ever seen on TV. Wipeout, hosted by our John Anderson, airs Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, ABC.
There's other hosts, aren't there?
No, I don't think so.
It's just
only one.
Number 7, AAA Baseball, Norfolk, Durham. Chris Roberson, great diving catch for the Tides. Norfolk wins 8-2.
Actually, Anderson says there's only one host, so I might be lying about that. Arena football, playoffs, Cleveland, Georgia. Raymond Fillion or Randy Himes. Fillion threw 8 touchdown passes. Cleveland wins. How about 73-70?
You haven't watched the show yet?
I love it.
There's 2 other hosts. Oh. Twins, Red Sox, Denard Span. Oh, Coco Crisp probably would have had a home run. Coco's done this before, played great defense, but Span
in the right spot at the right time.
Number 3, Mets Phils, Brian Schneider up the middle, Chase Utley. He'll be in the home run derby, and look, he's playing defense. Look at this. That's a great play, but then he flicks it backhanded while the ball is in his...
Newly acquired Carson Charles Sabathia. CC Sans the Periods debuting against Colorado in the sellout crowd, approved of the trade. Let's go CC, ringing through Miller Park. And, you know, he's 12-6, ERA of 3.74 in 30 starts against the NL. Here he is, Ryan Spilborgh's innings over in the first. Bottom first, 2 runners on, and look at Ryan Braun. That is all-star quality off Mark Redmond. 3-run shot, 22nd of the season, 3-0 homer. Is good for the crew. Braun participating next week, Home Run Derby, Yankee Stadium. You'll see the power of cheese there. Top 6, Rockies, trailing 4-1. The bases loaded, no outs. So CC's in the soup here. Your Torrealba doubles down the right field line. Matt Holliday, Garrett Atkins will score. Spilborgh's held up at third, shaken up a bit. We'd have to leave the game, but the game at this point 4-3 and very much in the balance. Next guy up, Jason Nix. Liner back to CC, who snares it, and then over to third to double off the former crew member, Scott Podsednik. 2 outs, 2 batters later. Sabathia strikes out Brad Hop swinging. 31 pitches in the 6th. He threw 97 overall in 6 innings, pitch allowed, 2 earned. Then in the 7th, Billy Hall with the bases chucked. The left, Ricky Weeks will score. Now the throw cut off. Corey Hart's in a hot box there. They got him pickled up, but that's all right. Prince Fielder scores. Prince likes having CC around, man. Together they are biggins. Brewers lead 7-3, and they win by the same count.
Expected to join the Cubs on Wednesday, so he missed Ryan Dempster going for 10-0 at the friendly confines as the Reds hit Wrigley. And Dempster and that Cubs D, they had something against Jerry Hairston. Watch this, top of the first. Here's Hairston leading off. Bloop job in the center, but Jim Edmonds is hanging out. Turn the wrist over, backhand grab. So robbing Hairston of the hit. Top of the third, here's Hairston. Grounds one to the left side. Aramis Ramirez laying out, diving stop, and gets Hairston by a step. I mean, what a play by Ramirez. So Hairston robbed the second time. Do I hear 3? Yeah, Hairston again. Grounds one to the left side, and it's Ramirez again. Robbed for the 3rd time. Dempster, 7 innings, 1 earned. Bottom of the fifth now. Giovanni Soto, the National League All-Star catcher. That's his third home run in the last 4 games. Aaron Harang falls to 3-11. Debster and the Cubs win again at home. The matchup for the NL leaders in the East, Phils, and the wild card leaders, the Cards. Cole Hamels looking for his 10th win of the season, but didn't look good right here. How about Ryan Ludwig at the top of the 6th? Get out of town. That's 450 feet off Hamels. Ludwig's 18th. Cards up 2-zip. 7th inning. Phil's up 2-on-1 out. Greg Dobbs comes on to pinch hit. As you can see, he's a good pinch hitter. I like my pinch hitters with 447 batting averages. Joel Pinheiro has a shutout so far, and Tony La Russa doesn't care. Replaces Pinheiro with Ron Villone. So Chris Coste is then brought in to replace Dobbs to face Villone. I mean, the wheels are turning. And with the go-ahead run at the plate, Coste grounds into the double play. Villone out of the jam, scored for La Russa. Pinheiro still in line for a victory. Cesar Torres flies out to right. Jason Worth throws home to Coste. Chris Duncan coming in there. The big collision at the plate. Duncan is out. What a play by Coste. Look at the block of the plate, bracing himself, knows he's going to take a big shot. He does, hangs on. The Phils are shut out for the 6th time. And those guys know you got to win 13 before you get to 14. Saunders and the Angels in Arlington, and Saunders had it going on. Strikes out Brandon Boggs. Struck out 5 in his 8 innings. Top of the 5th, Angels down 1-0. Second and third, Garrett Anderson to single. Torrey Hunter and Howie Kendrick come around to score, and the Halos take a 2-1 lead. Bottom of the 5th, same score, but not for long. Chris Davis, get out of town off Saunders. It's his 5th home run, and we're tied at 2. Bottom 6, runner on second, again tied at 2. Josh Hamilton singles to center. The Hamilton RBI single scores Ian Kinsler. Kinsler, by the way, has a 20-game hitting streak. Top 9, first and second, one down. C.J. Wilson gloves the Kendrick comebacker, throws to second, but Kendrick beats the throw to first. Watch it a slide at second. I mean, there's no way Hunter could have touched the bag, but they don't call interference. 2 batters later, Juan Rivera, the base loaded, grounds out to Ian Kinsler, and the Rangers do win 3-2.
Diamondbacks and National. Arizona gives up first place with a loss and a Dodgers win. Odalis Perez, well, he had some trouble with his man Angel Hernandez there behind the plate. First, we got a balk called, moving Chris Burke into scoring position. There's Angel. Yeah, sorry, move on down. Chris Young still at the plate there, and Young will single to right center. Burke's going to come in to score, and suddenly the 3rd inning's not such a happy place to be if you're Odalis Perez. 1-zip snakes. Next batter, Steven Drew. Perez called for another balk. Perez takes exception, promptly thrown out of the game by Hernandez. Yeah, get out and stay out. Don't start with me. He starts with him, and that's what happens. And the guy in blue always wins these arguments no matter what's happening. On the other hand, Brandon Webb just fine, gets Willie Mopena looking. Bottom 6, D-backs still nursing a 2-0 lead. Webb gets Jesus Flores. Webb, 6 innings, 6 Ks, 6 hits. Give him win number 13.
Teams and Dodgers, no 13-game winner here, but a pair of 8-game winners, Jair Jurgens and Chad Billingsley. Russell Martin in the bottom of the 3rd flies out to right on the hit and run. Jeff Francoeur, great to see you back, and he throws at Andre Ethier, who can't get back to first in time. Dodgers double play themselves out of the inning. Yunel Escobar in the top of the 5th with the bases loaded, doubles down the left field line. 3 runners come around to score. The Braves had a 3-0 lead. Top of the 6th, Braves are still up 3-0. Billingsley came in 4-0 with a 1.37 ERA in his last 4 starts. That's going to go up. Brian McCann hit a pair of jacks. Jair Jurgens, 1.30 ERA his last 5 starts. 20,000 fans in attendance.
Better than the one you were wearing.
It's believed to be the first mustache giveaway in stadium history. Scott Kazmir didn't have to face Giambi. He got the night off, faced Derek Jeter, and faced Alex Rodriguez. Kazmir had 5 strikeouts in the first 2 innings. Bottom of the 3rd, scoreless 2 on 2 outs, and here's Jeter. The fly to deep right, and Johnny Gomes has it go over his head. Robinson Cano and Jose Molina come around to score. Yanks take a 2-zip lead. Kazmir went 5, 2 runs, struck out 9. Out of the 7th, Andy Pettitte was cruising. Into the 7th, gets Carlos Pena swinging. After B.J. Upton stole a base, he strikes out Evan Longoria swinging. Runners in the corners for Willie Ibar now, and Jeter there, deep in the hole, the trademark jump throw, and gets the force at second. Look how, Jeter's in shallow left when he makes the throw. Pettit went 8 strong, no runs. Yanks win in shutout fashion.
Twins and Red Sox right now. Oh, wait, actually, this is the first time. Sorry, my bad. Top 2 teams for the wild card at the moment. Manny Ramirez, big spot in the 8, not struggling here, is he? Woo-hoo-hoo. That is deep and gone. 2-run shot, his 17th of the season. And in the 8th, we are tied at 5. Later in the frame, Brandon Moss rips it back up the middle. Kevin Youkilis will score, and look at that facial hair. He looks like he's chewing on a squirrel. Boston takes a 6-5 lead in the 9th. Jonathan Papelbon in to close and in a battle with Nick Punto. On the 12th pitch, little flare to center. Coco Chris coming on. No. Punto goes to second, would move to third on a sacrifice bunt. 2 outs, runner on third. Alexi Casilla shattered his bat. Yeah, toothpicks, grounds there to second. Game over, and the Red Sox win it by a count of 6-5.
You know, it was Jets night at the Mets game. The Amazins honoring their former co-tenants at Big Shea. Oh, yeah, like Tim Lincecum remembers when the Jets played in Queens. The Giants were in attendance, and off Lincecum, Carlos Beltran, a 3-run jack, his 14th. Beltran's first career homer against the Giants. The Royals are the only team Beltran hasn't homered against. Bottom of the third, first and third, 1 down. Damian Easley grounds short. Omar Vizquel, he's done that before, starting the 6-4-3 double play. Lincecum out of the jam. Bottom of the 6th. The other Carlos Delgado off Lincecum. Same result. If it's fair, it's gone, and I don't see a foul ball. His 16th. No. Lincecum, 6 innings, 9 hits, 4 earned, struck out 4 for the All-Star. Bottom 7, 2 on and 2 out. Beltran, the grounder, through the left side. And the play at the plate, and Argenis Reyes beats the throw. Mets are tied with the Marlins for second. They're a game and a half back in the East. White Sox and Royals played a game, lots of runs, lots of innings, and lots of rain beforehand. Look at this. It got into the bullpens, into the clubhouses, and the grounds crew did a great job just so they could play baseball. And 11th, bases loaded. A.J. Brzezinski laces one into the gap. Joey Gathright and Mark Teahen converge. Gathright holds on to make the amazing catch. Joe Creedy scores on the initial tag. Alexi Ramirez, the heads up, he's tagging all the way from second. You see the great catch in the outfield. Not exactly ideal conditions out there. And there's the heads-up play by Ramirez, hustling the whole way, a 2-base tag-up to score a run. You don't see that every day. And the White Sox go up 7-5. Bottom of the 11th, 7-6, Alex Gordon off Scott Linebrink over Jermaine Dye. So the Royals answer with 2 in the bottom of the 11th to tie things at 7. To go to the 13th, 1 out, runner on first, Orlando Cabrera at the plate. White Sox go hit and run. Cabrera goes down and puts it in the gap, and this time it falls. Ramirez comes all the way around first to score. That guy's got to be out of breath. Royals down 8-7, hey, rally caps. Mark Grudzielanek, the pinch hitter, grounds to Orlando Cabrera. There wouldn't be another rally. 4 hours, 20 minutes.
Top plays, and as always, we begin with number 10 and the word randomly Fred. Pasadena, California, Jim the Mouth setting a world record. Most seats sat in 48 hours, all 92,542 at the Rose Bowl. He's got 22 Guinness World Records.
What's the point of that?
I don't know.
Number 9, the Phillies ball girl, of course.
Nice pick. Never missed her conversation.
No hesitation whatsoever.
No. It's nice and easy. Yeah, we were talking about one now.
I'm voting for her, not for Pat.
But the seat thing, not the most pointless thing.
No?
No, look at it here. Number 8, the World Bog Championships in Wales. These guys got to ride a bike through a 6-foot deep bog there. They snorkel just in case, you know, and they got newts in their pants. And that guy, he's the winner.
I didn't see that on Wipeout last week.
No, we got better stuff.
Jesus Flores throwing out Connor Jackson, trying to steal from his knees. Remember Pudge in the good old days? Not Carlton Fisk, the Von Rodriguez punch.
I mean, we got like giant red balls the size of small elephants.
Oh, totally different.
Yeah, number 6, Twins, Red Sox, Brandon Moss, swinging bunt, Nick Blackburn. He'll have none of that. See him get off the mound, chase that baby down. Look at Joe Mauer, points. Yeah, you got it. Good play.
Number 5, the Astros and Pirates. Jump back, Loretta. Look out, Loretta. Mark Loretta hits a slow chopper to third. Jose Batista, who needs a glove, and is going to get some help as well. Adam LaRoche on the other end. Even better when it comes to the quality. That's the point of this. This is top place.
Yeah, but that one's exceptionally good.
Number 1, Kevin Cash. This is a pesky pole home run.
Got a guy riding through a ball.
In a hard spot.
Just sitting down.
Jumps into the wall and makes the play. But the Sox come back for the win.
Hey, look, I'm